You know what I realized after I finished filming my earlier Shib video? We didn't get to talk about those two specific comments regarding both price and regarding supply. These are things that I'm seeing pop up again. And we have seen many times before as we've been in basically these market cycle bottoms before things really get ripping. And I want to talk about these comments with you guys. So if you are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. But let's dive in. The first one is from Lord Har 123456. Appreciate the comment. And what he said is, I've been holding on to Shib for 2 years now. And when do you think this will ever hit 1 penny? The second comment was actually from PR No. He said, too much supply. Are they burning coins? So the reason I want to talk about these two things at the same time is because they are in fact related. Price can in fact be related to supply. So first of all, when we talk about supply, there are 586 or 589 trillion SHIB is circulating. All right. And the problem is a lot of people look at that and say, oh, that's way too much. Oh, price will never go up because of that. And the problem is that mindset is completely wrong. It is based on what is available in the market as a percentage of market cap. And the problem is so many people think in this way that they really miss out on the real opportunity. This is why people missed SHIB surging to a $50 billion market cap before. The reason they have missed it surging to a $25 billion market cap in this market cycle alone, that was obviously all the way back in early 2024. And the thing is when we look at the relation of supply in the market to the circulating supply, all right, right now there's only what 81 trillion 470 billion SHIB available on exchanges. Here's the thing. It sits between BTC and Ethereum in terms of available supply as a percentage of circulating supply. All right. That is a very low amount. It comes out to about 14%. There's only 14% of available SHIB out in the markets that is actually on exchanges. Why I'm referencing this is because most people are not doing DeFi activity. We know in times of high DeFi activity, Ethereum gas fees get insanely high. And maybe that's different now with the new upgrade. But most people are putting assets into cold storage to keep them there, to hold on to supply. And we've obviously looked at those metrics before. And what we're seeing is that the long-term holders of SHIB become longer-term holders. The mid-term holders of SHIB become longer-term holders. So we have one of the highest levels of conviction for assets in the crypto market. So you are truly looking at very limited supply for SHIB available on exchanges. All right. You can look at the big number and say, oh, it's too much supply. It's really not as a relation to price. Now, if SHIB was $1 and there was that much SHIB available on exchanges, then yeah, that's a big problem. That makes it very difficult to do anything. Right now, it makes it actually quite easy, which is why I think SHIB is on the verge of a big supply shock, because truly there is not enough as a relation to market cap to go around. All right. Now, here's the thing. The burning of supply, would love to see it because that does make some higher prices possible. Right now, in terms of Lord Har's comment, he said, when will SHIB ever hit a penny? Understand that a penny is a large market cap for Shiba Inu. All right. 1 cent would be $5.89 trillion. And I think we would have to see the market hit some pretty insane highs for SHIB to see those prices at its current market cap. And why I'm saying that is if we take a look at something like SHIB dominance, all right, something that actually still continues to look very good, setting slightly higher highs, setting slightly higher floors. That's actually looking really good. And it looks like, wow, I should have done a video about this. Anyways, we hit crucial resistance actually on SHIB dominance. And when we start breaching this 100-week moving average there, or 100-day moving average, that's going to be a really good sign for SHIB. But what we have seen in this market cycle is actually a high of about 1% in terms of SHIB dominance. Last market cycle, ignore the wick here. Last market cycle, we saw a high of about 2%. All right. So in order for SHIB to hit that $5.89 trillion, the market cap of crypto would have to be about 100 trillion, which they've talked about potentially taking place by late 2030 or by 2030. It might be later now because we've obviously had a big cycle where we haven't had retail adoption. But you'd also have to see SHIB garner, almost 6% of market dominance. Could it do that? Sure, it's possible, especially if retail comes in. They're very meme coin driven, very speculative driven. You could see those types of explosions take place. I'm not saying it's going to happen for sure, but That's how SHIB at the current market cap gets to 1 cent. And I think you need to have the SHIB ecosystem really take off. You need to have shibarium be used in a heavy way. Right now, it's really quiet within the Shib ecosystem. Yeah, they're having some partnerships pop up here and there. There's nothing really crazy, at least as of right now. But that's how Shib can get to that range. Now, that being said, the ranges I've talked about for Shiba Inu before have been between basically 3.05 and 2.01. So that's between basically a God, I should have done the math here. So that's between basically a 250 billion to a $500 billion market cap. And those I don't think are crazy, right? We obviously know Dogecoin hit a $100 billion market cap. We've seen Shib flip Doge before. It's a question of where does that meme coin money move? Does it chase new meme coins in the space, or does it go to the old dogs, pun intended, where there is some resilience, where there's conviction? And I keep going back to this fact that, Shib is held up, at least as of late, as one of the better meme coins in the crypto space. It's not always the best performer. It's not usually the worst performer either, right? It's one of those that truly has a sense of stability in the market. It's why many of these other assets, meme coins, have bled versus Shib for a while now, right? We had been at a point where we talked about Pepe potentially flipping Shib, and then now it's as far away as it's been in quite some time. All right. And other meme coins have been just bleeding, and I'm kind of getting off track here. But the point I'm trying to make is things are possible in time. Things are possible with adoption. People have to remember that we're still not very heavily retail driven right now. We're only at about 6% of the world in crypto. What happens when those larger amounts of people flow into the space? As long as Shib fundamentals continue to hold up, the supply is just fine to see some of those prices I've discussed. And as long as the market still has an eye for meme coin, as long as we don't go through this evolution of the space too quickly, where we're transitioning to a tech-driven era, if Shib doesn't have further tech by that point, then we're going to be just fine. But again, those are discussions that you need to have with yourself. But that's what I wanted to share with you guys. I appreciate you as always. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.